Hello, hello, prepared performers. I had some music going. We started like, "Whoa." But then it got really loud and I couldn't hear Kelly. So hi, I'm Molly Mahoney. This is the first time I'm doing this like on the fly, random, let's do a breakthrough session. So I just sent an email out and Kelly jumped in, which is so cool. We might have some more people joining us. Really, I just wanted to give you guys a chance to ask questions about building a career as a performer, anything having to do with performance or business. And I'm going to do this a couple times through the rest of the month. So I'm going to send the replay out, but it's best if you can be here live so that you can ask questions yourself. So let's jump right in. Kelly, tell me like about what's going on for you and where your trouble spots are.
Well, I'm still in the planning stages, but I want to learn to do something similar to what you're doing with the online thing, where you have marketing different packages of things.
Awesome.
Because I have been working contract jobs for the last 5 years for different, not related to performing, and I need something that's sustainable in between because it's interfering. Every time I go on a contract, I have to go out of town or whatever, and it's becoming a just bigger distraction. And I want to be able to focus so that I can start building something, doing what I want to do.
Yeah, totally. I mean, this is something that can be done from anywhere, which is really cool. Like I'm leaving for New York on Tuesday and I still have clients that I'm meeting with while I'm gone, which is so awesome that I'm able to literally coach from anywhere, which seems weird, but it's so possible. So tell me, like, just because if we send the replay out and stuff, I just would love to be able to like promote you a little bit too. So do you have or is there anything about what's going on for you right now as a performer, or are you still in the planning stage for that?
I've done a little bit of performing. I've been doing some workshops, and I just recently had performed with the Gardenia in Los Angeles. And
awesome.
It's still a lot of planning stages. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of focus on making a living kind of thing, which is what I'm trying to get out of that.
Right. Okay, awesome. So where are you at? Like, did you do any of the work in the starving artist syndrome thing? Like
I did. I'm just shy.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. So if you had to pick the 5 things that make you an awesome person, what would that be?
Oh, you had to ask that, did you?
I know it's so like awkward and, it can be goofy, but it really needs to open up, to the things that are going to be the best ways for you to shine and for you to be most successful before we get into your skills.
Well, as far as a performer, my strongest suit is definitely singing.
Okay.
And so I kind of want to build around that.
Okay. And you've taught before or?
No.
No. Okay. And do you have any reservations in the teaching scene? Because I know some people have some major reservations that I love to help them work through. Do you have anything that you're worried about with it, or what's stopping you?
Well, I don't think I'm qualified to teach voice or anything, but I would like as far as a performer, I can certainly do it, but I don't think I'm right for doing that. However, I like doing something like gigs and things like that, or teaching some offshoot of that, like maybe for kids or something, maybe.
Okay.
I'm still working it out.
Yeah. So is that where you want help on figuring out exactly how to do that? Or where do you how can I best help you today? What would be the most for you today?
I don't know. I didn't come prepared with questions because it was so impromptu.
Let me just usually in the course that we're launching, we get really big about the things that make you happy, right? And like the things that you are really best at. And so within that, like what specific types of things you can teach, and also the things that other people ask for from you. And so that's really the first step, is figuring out that niche and kind of doing some research to figure out if there is a call for it in the marketplace, So with teaching, like what do you think are some specialties that you would be able to bring to the table?
Well,
or coaching?
I don't know if there's a market for it, but I probably could put together like a living history type of thing and go to elementary schools and things to teach labor history, because I've been an activist with that, and actually I sang for Governor Brown and things like that and stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's like exactly the kind of like a random thing. Totally, that's perfect.
It's just kind of off the wall. I used to sing all over the country with an activist group when I lived in Florida, and it just kind of was a little side thing I was doing. I never got paid for it or anything.
Well, I'm like getting goosebumps, but it's cool. That could totally turn into something. It might be a little seasonal if it's like you could base it around Labor Day, or you could do something that's a really, my favorite thing. Oh, we have more friends joining us. Hey. Hi, how are you? Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
No, I know. I don't know if Nikki, I never know if I should call you Nikki or Shira. Which one should I call you?
Nikki's fine. I didn't know it was just going to come on. I'm like eating stuff.
That's perfect. I know. Kelly's here too. I was saying I did this so last minute. I decided to do it yesterday and sent an email out. And then today I posted it on Facebook 2 minutes ago.
Just saw the email. Great.
Yay. We're just talking, Kelly is talking about wanting to be able to launch some sort of performance business, but she's not really sure what direction to go in. But, and I'll send out the recording too, so you can hear what we just spoke about. But she was saying that she has thought about putting together some sort of living history show based on labor history and go to schools and teach about that, which I think is so cool and so specific. So we were just talking about how it could be, it might be seasonal. Where do you live again?
Kelly.
Sorry, Nikki. Yeah.
Me, Nikki.
Yes.
I live in the Canary Islands.
Okay, right. So I knew it was which is amazing.
Weird. Yeah.
Awesome. So it might be something that's kind of seasonal because it could be based around Labor Day. But what's really cool is to get super specific like that, Kelly, and then to take it from there and it can build into other things. So it would be easy for you to start with something based on the labor history because that's what you know about and your specialty. And then, really flesh that one out because that would make it something that was super spectacular and then be able to build different things around it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Imagination Machine?
No.
Okay, it's my favorite childhood memory, but it's this group that, and I have several friends who are involved with it now, which makes me so nerdy excited. But it's a group that brings stories to different elementary schools. They send a submission thing to the school, and the kids have to write their own stories following the guidelines of Imagination Machine, and then they choose 5 stories per school, and they turn it into a little musical. So the kids get to have their own stories turned into a show, and it's so awesome. And then they have a whole who, what, where, when, why thing that they do for younger kids, but it's all literacy based, but it's the same kind of idea where it's interactive and the kids love it, but it's teaching them as well. Okay. So it's so plausible. So with that, how far have you gotten in thinking about it, or did you just think of it right now?
As far as the thing, I have something I kind of had passing thoughts of, but it was just something that came to my mind when I was talking to you. I have ideas. Aside from the performing thing, I also have an idea of a website I want to do too, and I need to find out too how to do sales funnels and that sort of thing, landing pages. I don't know how to go about setting that sort of thing up. Yeah, and
I can send you some links to play. I use Lead Pages, and they now have a drag and drop thing. Nikki, do you use Lead Pages, or what do you use?
No, I use Optimized Press.
Okay, which is another one too. But yeah, but now they have a drag and drop one, which you can make it totally customized. They have a million templates, so it's super easy.
That's Lead Pages?
Yeah, Lead Pages. Yeah.
Okay.
It's amazing. I know I have a specific link that I can, but I don't remember what mine is. Let me see if I did this. And it can be overwhelming at first. I know I tried to get really fancy and used Infusionsoft at one point, thinking I was cooler than I was, and it did so much money. It was so confusing. So Lead Pages is a really great way to start simply, and it can go with MailChimp, which is free when you're building your list in the very beginning. So it's a really awesome option.
Yeah, the less I spend on the outset when I'm not bringing anything in yet and just getting launched,
totally,
the better.
Yeah. So if you want to get super simple, within MailChimp, you can get a little box to be able to put up to collect stuff. But Lead Pages will be, it costs a little bit. It's 200 something, but
that's reasonable.
Really set you up in a place where you can actually get things done, start getting things moving.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's in the course that I'm getting ready to launch, that's a whole thing that we cover too, is how to get that stuff, how to communicate with people and get it all set up. So
which one is that?
It's called Prepared Performer Profits. So it's technically launching today. I'm going to send out a little email later. And I know I'm so excited and terrified. And I'm there's so many parts to it, but it's cool. So anybody who comes on today, I didn't say this on the email, but I'm going to give people $100 off of the whole course.
Nice.
Yeah, if you're here today. So I'll send out an email and just let you know that with the link. so we talk about like setting up all of that stuff. And then we do weekly sessions like this, where if you need to have me help you walk through how to set it up, I can totally help you. Cause it can be overwhelming at first, but I really love it and nerdy and I've just like researched myself till the cows came home. Now I love doing it.
Yeah, I'm in that stage. I've been researching and now I'm in the, okay, I got to do this.
Yeah, totally. It sounds, I think that's a great place to start. And at least the best thing, like I posted this quote today, I think I might've posted it on my personal wall, not on my business page, but it said, Amy Porterfield shared it. And it said, don't wait until you're too, or you're not, don't wait until you're not scared anymore. Do it scared. Like, okay. Just going through, like the first time that I did the whole course with like 15 people, it was I did the whole thing myself. And I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but there were some things that didn't work. And there were some things that did. And I learned from those things that didn't work. And then, I'm so excited about the things that did. So
you won't do the things that don't work anymore.
Yeah. Totally. Nikki, what about you? Where are you at with your business and what's happened? Like since it's recorded, tell everybody like where you are and give us your website, Nancy.
I just had my first discovery session with a vocal coach in Wales. That was on your list.
Oh, yay. That's amazing.
Yeah. And she's really interested and it went really well. And I just felt super confident about it. Cause you know yourself, when you start something, you sometimes a bit kind of like, oh, I wonder, am I going to be good enough?
Yeah.
And the confidence just went, and then I had another discovery session with a singer today in Ireland and he signed up for a program and it's kind of like that. It goes in rolls, doesn't it? And
yeah, totally. But I think there's so much to be said for like that first time that you either book something or do, get through something. Even with Kelly, I know you said you don't feel qualified to teach voice lessons, but I'd like to talk to you more about that too.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of people, and Nikki, I don't know how you are with this, but a lot of people are worried about not being able to play piano too well. And
I couldn't even play a piano. I didn't even have a piano when I started.
Okay, see, perfect, exactly. And that's, oh my gosh, you guys, I forgot to plug my microphone in again.
What is this discovery thing that she's talking about?
Explain what your discovery, like what your course is.
So a discovery session is like when it's just an initial meeting with somebody face to face. So usually a Skype call or something like that.
Okay.
And it's something just to get people, just to introduce yourself. And it can be something that's just a chat and just a networking thing. I mean, Molly and I just like network together,
Yeah.
Or it could end up as a sales call. So you could end up actually selling a program to somebody on it, But it's a really nice way just to get to know people and they get to know you and they get to know about what you do and you just don't know what's going to come from it really,
And so a lot of business owners, especially people who do coaching, will offer, and they'll call it a discovery session. Some people call it different things. But it's like, you usually set a time limit on it. Like, let's help see if we can help each other. Like if my program's a good fit for you, or some people say it that way, or some people offer it just as a free coaching session. And then at the end, they'll say like, are you okay if I tell you a little bit about what I have to offer? But it's really just to make sure that you are a good fit there with each other.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nikki, you can tell us about your, go for it. Tell us about your program that you're launching also. And Nikki and I just met online, like randomly. I was looking.
Yeah, I know. I just got your email and I was just like, I didn't even read to see what it was about. I was like, oh, Molly's on. I think I'll just say hi, And I was like eating cheese. Sorry about that.
That's amazing.
I know makeup or anything on.
Perfect.
So I just launched a new program that is just like really basically coaching vocal coaches, because in the business side of things and just supporting them, because I always think there's always coaches that are, a few steps ahead, and we all need somebody who's a few steps ahead of us, So I've got my own business coach, my own life coach, and this was just a suggestion that kind of was swirling around in my head for a while, and then it just came about that I thought, maybe I can do this. Yeah. I have to be honest, I did do a lot of thinking about it and making lists without actually sending emails for a while, because everything's a bit daunting at the start,
And how often does that happen? That's like why I posted that quote today, because how many times, like, I redid my entire sales page yesterday because I was like, I'm going to change everything.
I know.
And even with my first time that I launched this whole program, all I did was put out this one little Facebook video, and then anyone who liked it, I messaged them, and I ended up getting people in it. But I was like, Mahoney, if you had actually done something to share, like, what you're doing, I'll get scared.
when I decided to go for this, I didn't even have a website. And then I just said, you know what, I just send out an email, a discovery email, and then they can look at my old website of what I do for vocal coaches. And then I thought, oh, well, I think I'll just make a little website. And then I made this really, really bad website. And I just said, it's something. And then I've just been tweaking that. And I still don't have like a really good website or anything like that. And I just need somewhere to have the information, you know?
Right.
And I'm sure it'll evolve from there. But so it's just like really just for people who are, like, I know what it was like to start out as a vocal coach 10 years ago. And that was face to face. And then in the last 3 months to go completely online and move countries, which is what I did. That's just like so scary, and you're on your own, and it's like, you know. Yeah. So I just thought, you know, I would love to have somebody to show me how to do all of this stuff, and or do it for me. So this is what I do for people too. Right. So I can do it for them. So I'm doing I've been doing Facebook ads for vocal coaches for the last 10 years, or probably 8 years, because I don't think Facebook's out 10 years. You know, so like,
that's like, I'm thinking about it because I get so frustrated about the fact that we didn't get any business training like this, at least here in school. I don't know, Kelly, did you go to school for performing arts?
No, actually, and I got talked out of it and going to something more practical.
But, well, and I think like I was so opposed to anything business related, but I wish that someone had told me something about running a business at that point. Yeah. But this morning I was thinking like, okay, but at the time when I was in school, there wasn't all the opportunity of being able to move countries and still keep the same clients. Like that could not happen then. So, and even, you know, to be able to offer something, like there's no way that we'd be able to offer even the information that we're sharing. It's all totally different. So I can't really be that frustrated about the fact that we didn't get the business training, because it's all pretty new still.
And it all changes daily anyway.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like the Facebook ads thing, are you kidding me? It's like you sign in and then all of a sudden the whole thing is, everything's on the other side. It's like going to Target and you know where the protein bars, and then all of a sudden there's diapers there because they want you to have to look and buy other things.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, Kelly, have you thought about like putting together a treatment of some sort of show to start? Would it be a one-woman show? Like what?
Well, I don't want to make that my primary thing. I'm just trying to think of like alternate things, but
yeah. What about talk to me more about coaching, because I was in the same place. Like my piano playing skills are way better than they were when I first started, but they are not good. And I think that there's so many ways that you can actually, if you're full on playing the piano, it's really hard to see your students. Yeah. So, I mean, there's ways that you can make it a benefit that you're not playing piano, and there's so many resources online for tracks and all kinds of stuff.
True.
What makes you think you're not qualified?
Well, for piano, because I suck.
Well, no, I mean, so if you forget like the piano part, I firmly believe can be worked around. Like, yeah. I mean, there's coaches who only coach the acting of a song, also, you know. Yeah. So because I think and Nikki, like, tell me if you agree with this, but for me, teaching voice lessons was some way to instantly be able to bring in like more income, and more, you know, connecting to new people and learning, because as soon as you start teaching, every day I learn something new, even this far into it. Right. Mm-hmm. True. I don't know. I just think it like coaching in any way. What other skills could you put out there, do you think?
I don't know. I really, that's part of the thing I was stuck on with the work from the other class, the
7-day thing.
But that I still haven't fleshed everything out, and I have to sit down really and iron it out. But, you know, I'm still learning myself, so there's a piece of me that's like, I can't go teach because I'm still learning myself. You know?
Nikki said something that is one of my favorite things about that, is when she said there's always somebody who's just a few steps ahead of you. And I think people actually like to learn from someone who is just ahead of them, as opposed to someone who is super far ahead of them, because it can seem like daunting that it's not something that you can actually accomplish. But
really,
yeah, I know there's loads of, you know, stuff to work on within that, but like I would just say the opportunity is so there. You just have to do, like, in the course, that first whole week is all about like figuring out all the stuff about you, and then you get to like what you're going to offer until a little bit later, because there's so much prep work behind it. Within that. How did you start teaching, Nikki?
I was singing and I had been traveling and I came back from traveling broke, and it was just like, I gotta like do something, and it just fell into it. And I was, teaching from my kitchen table.
Yeah.
And then it evolved from there, and it ended up as a music school at one point, an entire music school with a building and everything.
Oh my gosh.
And then sort of went down to sort of a studio and just a regular vocal studio, and then online,
Yeah.
So it was over the course of 10 years, but that's how it happened, and it was just, it's like, what do I know how to do? Well, I was teaching English while I was traveling. I used to teach dental nursing, believe it or not. I was a dental assistant for 10 years, and I used to teach other dental nurses. So again, it's like,
you're old enough to have done all of those things for 10 years.
I know, I'm going to be 40, my next birthday, I'm going to die. But look, singing keeps us young. So, so it was like, what do I know how to do? I know how to sing. I've been singing my whole life. I was on stage all my life.
Yeah.
I know how to teach, and let's try and bring these two things together and go from there,
That's another thing that I was speaking to some people with the last course who had taught all over the world. Like, they were doing this group and this teaching thing in Japan, and you guys may have heard me talk about this, but they were like, yeah, one of them said, I just feel like I need to learn a new skill in order to be able to put together a business. And I was like, what was it, the thing that you did in Japan? Like, could you put videos together to be able to sell that to different schools? And she said, oh my gosh, they actually asked me to do that. Like, and then she said, I didn't even think about that. I have it recorded actually, but the look on her face when I said that, was like, oh my God, like, how did I not realize? Sometimes it's just things that are right in front of you. It's crazy.
That's true.
Yeah. So the more you can like be aware as you're going through your everyday life, and when that text message comes through from that thing that you've been asked probably every day for the past 2 months, and you don't realize someone's asking you to do it because it just seems natural to you, that can be turned into something. It's cool. Yeah.
That's even what happened to me, even with coaching vocal coaches, because vocal coaches kept getting in touch with me and saying to me, I've seen you're doing this online stuff. How do you do it? Do you mind if we have a call together and see it, and before you know it, you're already doing it,
Right. That's exactly the same thing with my course. It was like, can I pick you? My friend Steve sent me a message like, can I pick your brain? His voice coach had told him he was going to charge him like a full hour lesson in order to pick his brain about teaching vocals. And I was like, let's just talk for 20 minutes. I'll answer your questions. I don't care, And then he and a couple of my students who were in the place where they were not able to go to auditions because they were working. I was like, let's do this course together. So same thing.
Yeah.
But you've got to shift your mindset a little bit to be able to realize those are opportunities, not just normal things that are, people are asking you. Is there anything, Nikki, where you feel like you would want help or anything like that today with where you're at with yours?
I don't think so today. I just wanted to come on and say hi and just, I don't know.
Oh, is that what you did?
I just saw your email. Come on and say hi and just see how you're getting on. And I was just like, good to see. So
I love it.
I think it's just nice to share things, and if it can inspire people in any way, that's great, or whatever,
Yeah. Agreed.
I mean, I just think if what I would say maybe to Kelly is just, if you feel like going for something, like, the great thing is, like, networking is so amazing these days. I mean, like, for me, like, the biggest shift I've had recently is just that being online now, I suddenly have all of these other vocal coaches around the world that I can speak to. I don't feel on my own anymore. And there's none of this whole kind of lack mentality of like, oh, we're in competition with each other anymore. It's like really everybody's really helpful and really sharing. And I had another amazing discovery session with a yoga lady yesterday. So she was facilitating me. And she was in Australia. It was like 11 p.m. my time, but it was really cool to talk to her and just network with her. And she suggested, what if you like helped yoga teachers vocal coaching as well, because they speak all the time and they're singing mantras, and I'm living on this island with like yoga retreats everywhere. There's 1-2 doors down from me.
That's another goosebumps. That's amazing.
And then I'm gonna, like, I know loads of yoga teachers because I've been in a yoga community for a long time, and I'm gonna like help, recommend her to them. And it's just so cool that everyone is so connected and community-wise and helping each other these days. Whereas it just, the word competition is nearly non-existent anymore. And I think I just feel so supported now, whereas I would have felt very isolated at one time years ago, starting off from my kitchen table on my own,
Yeah.
So, Yeah, so I think it's just so much easier to do all this stuff now, you know?
Totally.
Look at this.
And the people who are being, wait, what'd you say?
Just like click a button and we're all together.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. And the people who are like giving in that way are the people who are going to end up succeeding, because otherwise, if they're not, then that rumor is going to get out about that too. If someone's like shady, you know? I'm a part of a networking group that's called eWomen Network, and they say lift as we climb is their like motto, which I love so much. Lift as we climb is so cool.
That's really nice.
Yeah. And also, like, my friend Michelle ended up taking the course the last time, and she lives literally 5 minutes from here, and she's a voice coach, but she is like my favorite thing in that way, because she and I are sharing each other's, we have students that we both teach, which is kind of weird, but also I know I am not a pop diva, and she is like, wah, you know, so we have different, all of us have our own unique things that make us different, our own.
You do, and you know what, and you'll always just connect with certain people, and then if they're not the right one for you, it's nice to be able to say, well, okay, maybe I'm not the right person to help you, but Molly could help you, or such and such could help you, you know, and that's so nice.
I've made a new friend.
Or you just make a new friend. Yeah. So it is really cool. It's really cool. So
awesome.
I just can't say hi.
All right, well, I set aside like 30 minutes so I might have a babysitter here with my kids, because I was teaching this morning, so I can hear they're going to take a nap, which is good. But Kelly, is there anything else like in the next like 5 minutes or so that I can offer you, or
I need to do some more thinking, I think, but I do have to say one thing I do like about your presentations and things is it seems very accessible, because we both apparently live in the same town. So it's, instead of it just being some strange person on the internet that they could be doing or saying anything, it just makes it seem like, well, I can maybe do this, you know? Because it would just, I don't know, it seems more real.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I know that that's something, it seems, Nikki, like you too, I try to be, like, let it all be very real about what is actually happening here. And I think things not being too polished is actually beneficial. Like the fact that this keeps coming out of the back of my hair. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
But not, you know, making sure that we are to be able to do things like this, and people can just come on and ask questions is, thank you. I'm glad that comes off as a good thing, not as like a crazy thing. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, Kelly, as you like think of things, feel free to send me a Facebook message or an email.
Okay.
And let me know if you need more help and stuff. And then, like I said, because you're here, you can have $100 off the course if you want, which is amazing. I'm going to add a litlittle code thing to the backside of it, which I haven't done that yet. But if you want to go look at it, I'll send you. I'm going to post the link right here.
Okay.
Actually, because it's actually there. And then with the course, we'll be doing a weekly session like this. I decided that I wasn't going to put the, if you go to preparedperformerprofits.com, actually, it will send you to the link as well. But this is the link too. I have like 7 links going to the same place. But if you go to, within the course, and I don't know, Nikki, if you guys do this too, but we're doing like a weekly call where we can come on and talk about stuff. But I decided not to set the date and the time this early on, because last time I set it for every Wednesday morning at a specific time, but not everybody could be there. So I'm going to do a vote. Once everybody has registered, then I'm going to do a little vote with a couple of times that would work for me, so that the most amount of people are able to be there.
Okay.
So
yeah, I tend to do that too. That tends to work actually quite well. Yeah.
So that we at least optimize that time. Amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go play with my kids. But Kelly, I'm like super excited for you. It sounds like there's a couple of different ways that you could go that would help you to get out of that job that's pulling you away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to. It's you saying about things that you do all the time. It's just got my wheels turning, and I just need some time to digest.
Totally.
And kind of think it through.
And even one last thing I'll say, I have the guy who does my videos for the Vocal Jam, the Broadway themed open mic night that I host once a month. He is a student of mine who's now at Chapman in the film department, and he's awesome. And I'm so grateful for his help. He does lots of help with the prepared performer stuff. And he was talking to me about how when he graduates, he's like, I don't know, they were just telling us that we're going to have like a really, cruddy job at first and all this, and we're going to have to be interns and we're going to have to do this. And I said that, you could do that, but there's also ways that he has so many skills. And I said, so what do you want? What do you want to do? And he was like, I have no idea. That's the whole problem. And sometimes I think we get paralyzed in that the fact that there are so many possibilities can actually be less liberating.
I feel that totally.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I am.
Yeah. Even I remember when I first started with my coach, my business coach, Dana Corey, I wrote down, she said like, okay, map out what you want in the next 3 months, map out what you want in the next 6 months and the next year. And what I did literally was like put together, like I set a goal a year from now, but it was all very numbers based. It was like, I want to be doing this many things, this many this. And then I went back 6 months and I just took out some of the numbers, and I went back 3 months and I took out some of the numbers, and she was like, Molly, this is the most like weird calculated thing I've ever seen. Like it has to be something about what you actually want in your life. And I just remember talking to her like, I don't know, I'm working so hard and I'm so overwhelmed. So,
I've seen a calculator where you kind of do the reverse, where you write down just kind of blue sky everything you could possibly want, find out how much it costs, and then break it down, and you basically narrow it down until you finally add everything up, put a buffer in for taxes and things like that, and it gives you a dollar amount per day, minus $300 per day.
Amazing. And that's something that's so huge with what to charge, is being able to do that. I love it. So you've already done that, which is awesome.
Yeah, I put, like I said, I need a few missing pieces that I.
Yeah, right. Totally. That's like an awesome way to, at least what that goal would be financially anyway. Or I know it sounds like the other stuff too, because you started off with all of that. So just figuring out the puzzle pieces that can get you there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before I forget, when is that next Vocal Gym?
It is it's coming up really soon, actually. The 31st.
Okay.
Usually we have one a month, but we didn't have one in April, so we're doing 2.
Oh, okay. That's why I was like, as I try to watch it on Facebook, but I think I missed the last time or something.
Oh yeah, you know what? I didn't do it on Facebook last time. I did it all on Snapchat.
Oh, well then no wonder.
So I know, I was trying to be like different and fun, but
that's okay.
Yeah, I think I'll go. I ordered a geo filter for the next one, so I was trying to practice.
What are those? I don't do Snapchat, so I don't know.
I'm trying to get better at it. I went to Social Media Marketing World, and they were saying, like, especially with the younger generation, it's like the way of the future. So the geo filter is the thing, when you swipe it, it brings on a little image or text on the bottom. And so I did one that says, sing your face off. And then it has our little fancy microphone, and it says Ghostlight Vocal Jam. So, but it only works in that location. So I set it to work like over the building. So if you're in that building, you can use it.
Okay.
And when people share it, I don't know. I'm still honestly on the fence about the whole Snapchat thing, because like you said, I really feel like I thrive and my people are on Facebook, so I should just do things on Facebook. But I'm just testing it out a little bit.
Oh, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't know anybody else who's on it, so I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to sign on and just talk to random strangers.
Yeah. I'm like posting, I don't know, weird things. I don't know. Nikki, are you on Snapchat?
No, I haven't even gone there yet, I'll be honest. I'm not sure I will. I'm using Facebook so long, I have so many people on there, and I just kind of feel like it just works,
Yeah. It can be fun, but I just feel like it's time consuming. So
yeah.
I started at first just doing it at the gym because I didn't know how to use it, and my trainer did. So I was like, that was my motivation for going to the gym, was that she was also going to teach me how to use it.
Whatever works, right?
I have to like trick myself. So I just post literally my whole like first month on Snapchat was just me like holding things going, oh, like I hate this. But I don't know. That was my way to trick myself into doing it. Yeah. Anyway, okay, you guys are awesome. This has been so great. Thank you for coming on. And we're going to do a couple more of these throughout the month. So if I'll send an email, I'll post it on Facebook, and it'll be fun. And Kelly, if you want to come to the Vocal Jam, it would be amazing.
Okay.
It'd be fun. Yeah. Okay.
Yay.
Okay. Good luck, you guys. Thanks for coming on.
Bye. Awesome. Bye.
That's a lot. Bye-bye.
Wait, I messed up. Okay, now bye.